Morning, team. How's it going, everyone? How's it going? Hopefully you had a good afternoon session yesterday. Lots of opportunities again in the afternoon yesterday. And maybe you had a great Globex session for this grind back up. Quick sip of the coffee or tea this morning, actually. All right, so what do we have? Well, 3-day balance range down here. All right, if we just ignore everything else. 3-day range. Here's Friday. Here's the close. Monday, failed to get underneath, came back inside, failed to get above, pushed down. Tuesday so far today, all the way push up. All right, this is what's important. This is where we're being boxed in. Above this is the key value area. This is absolutely key as we get into sort of 300s. All right, I'd say 300s all the way up to sort of 450, 500. All right, this is our big resistance zone because at the moment, currently, everyone above that is trapped from the last 3 months. So this grind up to here, this is what I wanted to see Monday, Tuesday. This is good. I'd like us to extend a little bit higher and then we can make a decision Wednesday then what we're doing. So we're going to watch to see if we get an outside bar break or if we're just going to stay inside for another day today, which is highly possible with earnings coming tomorrow. Okay, be aware. Semis lifting up overnight. They had a really good session overnight, over 3% up in the Asia market. Lots of semiconductor related names lifting up this morning. We have news all over the shop with Iran, like America started filing more missiles yesterday. Then there's rumors of a deal being done, yada, 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 yada. Same shit we've been listening to for forever now. Honestly, it's boring. The rhetoric's boring. Everyone's bored of it. So let's see what we can get. Move to the hourly. All right, and you can see this multi-leg grind back up towards this pivot. And this is going to be absolutely key today. Previous week value area low. All right, what we're looking for today is very clear. Are we going to find acceptance back inside last week's value or not? All right, so if a morning drive up here, and it can poke above if it wants, but if it is met with sellers, all right, passive sellers absorbing the tape followed by a turnover of aggressive sellers, we're going to look to see if they're going to drive this back down. All right, and we're going to see if we're going to hold Globex shelf that we've put in here or even Globex high, which we'll figure out once we get to open, or if we see follow through back down to previous day value area high. Now, between previous day value area high and previous day point of control, I would imagine we will try and find a bid out, all right, to come and retest this level because structurally we look pretty good for that, all right? So it's up to you whether you want to look for this short back down or you want to wait for it to come in. Maybe it doesn't push and it comes in at the open and we buy dips, all right, for that move back towards previous week value, especially if we don't do an opening drive up there, all right? If we don't do an opening drive up there and we come down to one of these, something like that, or maybe even they do a big flush on rotation to previous day value area low, and we can look for the move back up. If we can't hold previous day value area high, we have to be aware of this move to point of control, and if we can't hold that, we have to be aware of this move to value area low. Right, I'll remind you, the main trend is lower. We are building this out right now. All right, I'm actually really interested in buying dips today if they don't drive into this first. Right, if they come down and hold one of these, somewhere in here I'm interested in it, and we have to watch the order flow as we get there. If we can stay positive gamma and hold that, it'd be good. If today we get above previous week value area low, whether we buy dips to get there or it's a morning shove up and then we base above, all right, we cannot then rule out the move higher. All right, so if we're finding acceptance inside previous week's value area low, we're actually looking for this move here, 500s to 600s. All right, there's an LVN up there. This is actually the expected move now. All right, so this would be the extreme for the day, would be up towards here. And then if we poke through that previous week point of control, which at the moment, remember, is naked. Right, so we haven't tested it yet. So I'm open to both sides of this tape on a Tuesday. I would favor us not coming up here. I would much favor this move down here, buy dips, try and get into here, have a partial. If we hold, great. If we don't hold, we're out with it. And And then I'd much favor downside if we take that out and then fail and then look for that rotation back in. I don't love the downside rotation in here. It doesn't mean it doesn't come. I like that tomorrow, an end of week for a weekly model, but I would love to see this thing poke up here somewhere first before we think about any pressure back down to the downside. All right, so that's where my head's at. In terms of gamma, all right, we're in positive gamma right now, lifting higher. All right, so it is kind of like a buy the dip scenario. That can change very quickly in this market, as we know. Okay, so our call walls, our big call walls today, 365, 285, which is basically previous week's value area low, and then the move towards 500s, 575. So they've actually just, if they just moved that call wall now, let me just refresh this. $360 C2, yeah, that's all right. 155 C1. Has it been covered up by? Where is C1? $155. I can't even see it there. That's odd. That's very odd. I'll keep an eye on that. But anyway, positive gamma, so can we hold for a push higher? If they need to come and check neutral zone, so be it. Let's go through the ES and everything else, see why we're moving, how we got up here. All right, relative weakness in ES. Why? Because semiconductors are the ones finding the bid right now. So we're actually just in a giant range in ES. You can see bottom side of demand, held the bid, reclaimed, held the bid to supply, retest supply, failed, back towards VWAP, opening at VWAP. So it's either going to be this down to here, or it's going to be a poke through in this up here. All right, that's your big opportunity today. If it comes down here, if you're going to be a buyer, sort of 500 and just under for the rotation, unless they stay heavy. So that's what I'd be watching on ES. You have clear targets above, and they're trying to price it in for a big climb higher today, but we'll see. Energy probably get going, but if we're rotating into semis, then they might be rotating out of energy and healthcare again, and maybe some finances. We'll have to have a look in a moment. Let me just get this back on. We've lost all that. There we go. Okay, let's move this to a 5. Let's have a look what's going on in the rest of the world. VIX, all right, dampening off a little bit, but still elevated. This is showing signs of life here in the next week or so. I wouldn't be surprised to see a push up here, so just be cautious. I'm going to remove that for a moment. So watch and see if VIX holds 17s or this shelf down here at 1650, if they bid out of that, not. If we start breaking over the 18s and 19s, then we're into that sort of 20 plus squeeze, and that would be bad for the market. Dixie, okay, this is what's concerning me for downside pressure. I've said it for a while now. We have held this blue box and we're starting to get going to the upside. All right, this looks like a giant flag pullback. All right, and if we start to break out here, I can't see how the market doesn't see downside pressure with that, honestly, with what's going on elsewhere. Crude, again, breaking out to the upside. I mean, this is not good. This is really not good. So a retest of this. Okay, if we get back inside here and we build out liquidity and pause, then it's got the shot of going higher again. Again, that is downside pressure on the market. So if crude's moving higher, Dixie's moving higher, we're at risk of downside pressure in the market for that bigger leg. That's what I'm aware of coming maybe today, but probably more likely tomorrow and Thursday. All right, MAG. Let's just move this down. Doesn't look great, does it? MAG. What does that look like to you? All right, does not look good. Does not look great at all. All right, they had the big drive up last week, coming back inside, building out liquidity. We're stuck in a range here. This is the danger on earnings on MAG. All right, it's going to all be about capex spend, but it doesn't look fantastic. IGV getting crushed back down. I'm going to show you why in a minute. So we're just staying in that trading range on IGV. Nothing's changed here. All right, just in a trading range. But this is lifting. All right, semis. Semis are lifting. Okay, so we can flip this now. Just zoom this out a little bit more. All right, now we've reclaimed, or if we hold this, we're going to reclaim these pivot lows. All right, so if we think about structurally, we can reclaim these pivot lows. If they're willing to hold a bid here, let's just call it the whole number 150. We can allow it to slide more, but if their hold 150s on the Soxals today, they're going to look to get back to neutral zone 162, 165, and if they start turning on the move above that, then we can look for that 200 retest, not today, later in the week. Okay, so this is all about the rotation now. You can see that we've rotated back into semis, at least short term, over the last 2 days. The question now is very simple. Can they hold the bid? Can they hold the bid? Or is it a push and a fail? And then are we backside again? And is that just building this out for this move again? Building this out for this move again? It's all about earnings, 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 earnings this week, folks. All right. It's all going to be on the CapEx spend and the debt. All right. The debt, the raising of the bonds and the debt on all this stuff. All right. Individual names. We'll get going very quickly here. Apple. All right, coming back downside after that all-time high push. This is what it always does after an all-time high push. You can see the liquidity's down here, right? The big build-out's down here. So we've got a spike high up here at 23s. If we lose that, we're going to probably come back downside. Amazon is trying to get going, but it is really struggling here, folks. All right, just in this sort of right shoulder range here. If we just zoom this out, doesn't look good. All right, so we have a peak formation high. We want to see it base above the top of this if we're going to have any more upside pressure on Amazon. Gapping down very slightly at the moment, getting weak. Remember, MAG are weak today versus semis. Goog opening up pretty much flat in that same kind of area. This is the one that they're going to wait for earnings. They'll start pricing in tomorrow morning, I'm sure of it. It's when the move's going to start coming. Meta. Same kind of story, peak formation high, coming back in, holding its demand block at the moment, sideways chop for the last 3 sessions. Microsoft, that looks much better. That's a good drive yesterday. We are still long in this stuff, but we're going to have to see if they're going to hold bids. Gap down here as well on Softy this morning. Nvidia should be a gap up. Yeah, a nice big gap up Nvidia, but again, you can see where it's coming into. This is its struggle level. All right, so flush, tried, failed. Failed, back to there again. It's got to get over this, just like the rest of the market, for semis to really start lifting. And Tesla, downside pressure. That doesn't look great. Slight gap up, but big sell yesterday. It needs to basically do this today or an undercut and a reclaim if Tesla's going to get going upside. Otherwise, it looks pretty bad, doesn't it? We are getting ready to undercut this, and that will probably be a liquidity break. So it doesn't look great out there, folks, outside of the semiconductors. Outside of the Soxal, or the SOX, whatever you want to look at, it doesn't look great. This is trying to claw back up as well. It's not like we're in big bullish formation. We get inside that, we can have a conversation about maybe an upside lift, but we're going to have to see. All right. Let's get ready for the open here. Turn that down a little bit bright. There we go. God, these are busy screens. These do not look nice. All right, so it looks like we're going to come up for that previous week value area low at open. Just going to mark these out before we get to open. Okay, here we go, folks. So I want to see how we up here. I'd much rather be a dip buyer today, but if we break out and hold above that, it's going to force me to start buying up there as well. See if MAG can get going today in alignment. It'd be nice. Previous week value area high coming up. That's your target. If you've been long pre-market, that's your target. And then our question is all about acceptance at that point. All right. It's all about acceptance. I would love if this comes back down to earth somewhere down here first, but I don't think it's going to, but it would be nice. Here's the shove up for you guys. Here's previous week value area low coming up. You want to be taking a partial into this and then waiting to see if you can find acceptance through it if you are already long pre-market. And I will wait patiently. Let's get some volume on here early before I forget, like most days. Right, IGV trying to catch a bid early. Semi spiking up and then sold back inside. Mag closing its gap, opening up flat. I'm hoping this comes back down to earth. 600 lot seller here just came in at 200. Be aware of that. Yes, I did say that right. 600 lot seller. It's a big opening order. I'm going to wait to see if we come down here. Mag getting nuked here, back down to previous day low now. Let's see if they bid the mag or not down there. So this was the opening drive, said they might well fail up here and then turn around. This is point of control from Globex. If we fail that, we're now failing Globex value area high. Maybe we can come down here. And I'm going to be interested in a bid somewhere in here if we do come back down to earth. That's what I'd like to look for. Remember, we've been doing a grind up all night. Some kind of move back would be great. They might not allow it to happen, but it would be great. Buyers getting caught there at 90s now. I would just like this to move lower and lower and lower so we can start bidding at a reasonable area down here. If you guys are short, you want to start taking some into overnight point of control, which is this grey box, and then see if you can get this move down here for you guys. This is a value area high from the current week, so we will respect that, but really I want to see if I can be a buyer down here somewhere. Semi's coming back into VWAP, IGV finding a bid, so they're doing the old rotation. Mag trying to hold a bid as well, off previous day low. The old rotation starting. Now, if we get back above point of control, it might be that they're not going to allow this to come much lower, which is not what I want. I would much rather this come lower first, but we'll see. If this is the only dip to POC overnight, we'll see if we have to get involved here. Remember, I'm looking for dips today where possible. I would much rather we come down here, though. Churning the grey box, that's overnight point of control. It's your high volume node from overnight. It's the leave alone zone. All right, semis to VWAP. So morning drive failed, coming back inside overnight range into VWAP here. I am praying this moves a bit lower down here and we can start thinking about dips if we can hold, if we can trap sellers. Anywhere down here would be great. I'm not looking for the shorts at the moment just because of the H1 structure. I would have got short if we pushed above previous week value area low and failed and trapped buyers. I would have got short, but we didn't do that. We just saw a huge seller just come in at 200 and just turn it. So I'm going to wait for the main play. Patiently waiting now. Ideally, we sweep under 100. Ideally, we don't hold these bids where we held overnight. It will be not ideal. Ideally, we come under 100 down into here. That's when I'm going to get interested, not really before. Semi's coming down to test like a pre-market low shelf, 152. IGV, so software ripping, so it's come from previous day low, under previous day low, ripped right up, closed its gap on software. So we'll see now if they sell software back in and buy semis on the rotation, which they love to do, and it's already starting to happen. Here's rotation starting. So semis holding pre-market lows back to VWAP here. This is going to perk my interest. If they're going to start bidding semis, it's going to perk my interest because software's now closed its gap. If we get over this grey box, then maybe the longs are going to start coming in. I'm watching this very carefully now. Semi starting to bid aggressively now to see if we can get involved here. Remember, I'm looking for dips today. So he just came under POC and ripped. Please don't rip too far without me because, you know, we would like to be involved today, market, in the longs. That's why we're looking for the longs. Come on, you bastard. What a rip. Right, let's see if pullbacks start to hold in towards 80s and we can try and get long. What a bugger. So let's see if this can hold this pullback out of daily. We can come a bit deeper here. We're at point of control right now. I don't really want to bid POC, and we've just pushed up to New York Open and failed. So I just want this pullback to come in a little bit more here. Still very early in the session. Some buyers here into 90s. Just want to see if we can hold sort of 80s-ish or not. Here's the move to 80s. They're starting to get very aggressive on the sell here. If they don't absorb this, there's no bid. Okay, feathered some in there. I'm not going to risk much here. It's very whippy on this tape. Semi's just got crushed back under VWAP. I'm taking that off straight away. Just seen that on the left screen. Didn't see that beforehand. What a whipsaw on semiconductors there. Jesus Christ. Drive up, straight back down. I'm going to leave that alone for a minute. Let this settle out. Software rebidding now. So they're churning and churning and churning. So they bid software, sold semis. Then they sold software, bid semis. MAG doing absolutely nothing. It's just stuck at PDs. It's literally not moved. It's stuck. So I went to bid 80s there and then thought better of it. I do not want to bid this grey box. It should have shown strength above it, really. There is some selling getting a bit exhausted at these lows if they can't get the breakdown. Remember, we'd much rather be buyers down here today, but if it's going to show strength above the grey box, we have to participate. Fucking hell. What a churn. Buyers coming in here. If we hold above this, I've got to be willing. It's horrible how they've set this up this morning, but we have to be willing to be a buyer here if they're willing to break and hold above. All right, I'm in here trying to look for this now for higher. We've got to get back through 200. It's where that huge seller was this morning. Once we get above that, there's going to be a 600 lot seller stuck. And I'm going to try and hold on for previous week value area low. And if we break and hold above that, I'll add for the move to 500. Here we go. So above this 600 seller at 200, we want to see us get over the New York Open, which we've just struggled to get back above. This is a little bit, oh, don't move that, Alex. This is a little bit whipsaw-y up here. And if we can hold this bid now, we're going to try and look for this move here. We've got to get back above 200 and certainly this blue line. And we can get up here and then we can look for extensions if we can. And semis not need to stop buggering about here and just get going. We're failing that 200 at the moment. That's the big level. Huge seller coming in here at the lows. I still think we're going to move higher here. They've just absorbed the guy at 190s, but they are faffing around. Mag is doing absolutely nothing. And we're a little bit stuck here. I'm a little bit cautious here with what they're doing with this tape. No. 300 lot seller. I'm out again. I'm not going to play games. They are playing games. I'm not going to play games. I'm going to reduce my risk and wait. They had the chance to do it. There's a 300 lot just went slam the door in the face there at the top of the grey box. They're going to make this very hard to trade here. They are just going to churn here by the looks of it. Look at this churn. Yeah, too choppy right now. I agree. They keep having the chance to do the move and they won't do it. Semis are holding VWAP. Mag now starting to look like it wants to test previous day low, and they absorbed it like that again off previous day low. And back to PDC that quickly on Mag. Wow. Now if Mag go and semis find the bid, the strength will come together, and that's going to be a much better move than we've had so far today. Remember, before all of this, I want to be a buyer down here, but starting to churn this. So I'm risk off now. Taking a couple like small little break evens or reds there. I'm down $100. It's not a big deal. They're trapping buyers up there. Not really, mate. There's actually not much buying been trapped up there. Very little. It's been very, very aggressive selling. There's actually not much buying up there at all. Mate, what a whipsaw. What a whipsaw. I'm going to try and wait for this to come in. Try and be patient, see if they bring it in. ES at New York lows. Selling off here. Semis look like they're going to give a dunk under that pre-market low. Or shelf, I should say, not pre-market low. See if they come back into previous day high and bid that. So just going to be patient here. I've had a couple goes. Mag starting to bid aggressively now. And then door shut in the face. So push straight up to 67s and then door shut. Mate, look at this whipsaw. I want to be a buyer down here, or I want to be a buyer above this. I don't want to get any more in here. I'm going to ignore. Look at the flow zones are flat, VWAP's flat, everything's flat. We're going to move out of this soon enough. My bet is we're going to move upside today a little bit for that test of previous week, a value area low. And I don't reckon that 600 lot seller is going to be rewarded for coming in at the beginning of the day with that much size. Back to VWAP again. Semis back to VWAP again. Mag bidding up now, pushing up towards high of day New York session. How quickly that's turned around. This thing just does not know what it wants to do. That line up correctly with NinjaTrader. What's NinjaTrader got it at? 80s. It's about 20 points lower. Yeah, ES does. ES wants to come back to 500 to 495. That's what ES wants to do. Relative weakness in the ES. We talked about that this morning because they're rotating back into semis. They're going to start selling energy and stuff again. We're just stuck. I'm open to it coming down here at the moment. Semis breaking down, new low of day in New York. IGV holding VWAP. MAG looking good for a push upside at the moment. If they can hold above VWAP on this push higher, they look good for a break up. So the churn continuing, right? We're out of alignment in these. Right, software, MAG, semis. Lots of liquidity lower here if they want to swipe down. They're trying to come and test value. 100. We haven't swept any of these H1s, so I'm waiting to see if we do that. Mate, it's so whippy over here. It's so whippy over here, looking over my shoulder. They're trying to retest value at the moment. Now, on Ninja Trader, by the way, I have value at 80, much higher. I don't know what you guys have. Much higher, like 20 points higher, so it's worth being aware of. Right, semis did the old liquidity sweep and trade back inside at the moment, that 52 level. Software's now getting crushed. MAG's now coming back down after failing to break out to the upside. We're just trapped in a pennant on software now, which is fantastic. On MAG, sorry. All right, here comes the move down towards value. Now, from here to here is where I think a bid will form, if it forms at all. $82 on TradingView. So if I just move that, let's just move this up then. That will now match Ninja Trader. And if they don't hold value area high, then we'd be looking at 29.50, and then if we go back inside yesterday's value, we're watching rotations, right? We're going to think about the move back towards 29,000 down here. But I'd imagine somewhere in here a bid is going to form. Just hopefully they don't do some bonkers 100-point move out of it. And they're trying to pop it up, and they're getting passively sold into in every attempt to move back inside today's value at the moment. And they come again. They are desperate to try and move this upside. They're struggling. Every pop's being passively sold into at the moment. We'll see if Mr. Bid turns up at all here. IGV suddenly finding a bid. MAG weak into previous day low and approaching low of day. I mean, this is rough over here, folks. This is about as churning as I've seen at an open. MAG about to break down here by the looks of it. MAG testing low of day and previous day lows now. Semi's holding the bid over 152, so they swept and held. They're trying to get back up towards VWAP. IGV's pointless even looking at. It's so confused. All right, testing value area low. If they come back inside here, they will try and bid up. Right, we'll see if they're willing to hold again. This is very dangerous now because we're below overnight volume shelf, this grey box. Why we wanted to bid above it or very cheap down here. Not what we're doing here, these silly people. Talk about turning it on. Semis to VWAP here. 123 lot seller on that last push. Someone's been very aggressive selling on the tape today. They're going to have to hold value now and stay inside. Again, this grey box is a problem. Hey, this tape is so whippy. Really whippy. Remember, the big seller today is 200. Once you get above that, he's going to be stuck. Let's see if pullbacks can hold here. We still haven't really pulled back. Guess we've tested value on that last move. Want to get long here. It's very whippy. I want to get long if we can hold 40s to 30s. Again, another huge seller up here. They are market selling like anything today. It's crazy. ES looks weak, rejecting VWAP. Semis back through the VWAP. MAG down at low of day. I mean, this is like... Just listen to what I just said. Semis through VWAP. MAG down at low of day and previous day lows. SPY rejecting pivot and VWAP as well. Feels so risky to bid on this right now. And they can't hold. New low of day SPY. Breaking previous day low now on SPY MAG. If we turn inside, I'm going to bid on MAG watching this. If we hold 40s here, I'm bidding. MAG's got to come back inside. We're not seeing it come back inside yet. Come on, MAG, because if this goes and then you come inside, I'm going to be too late. There it's inside. Okay, let's see if 40s bid. Here we go. They're looking to shove this now. This grey box is going to be a problem. This is overnight point of control. Once we get above that, relief really starts. Watching these 40s now. All right, bidding that. And if we break and hold above grey box, I'll try and add a bit for the higher day move. If they stop playing games. Here we go. You got to break above this. Don't get stuck in that low volume node. You got to break above this market. And then I'll add into you. And then above 200 is where the pain starts for the seller. Oh, is this whippy action? Come on. Fucking hell. Can we get some direction? No. POC overnight failing. Come on. Still holding 40s. Fucking semis, man. 52 to VWAP is the whip on semis right now. IGV now bidding. Oh my God. Stop churning. Please stop churning. Come on, market makers, stop churning it. Trying to hold this range down here. Here we go, still holding. Come on, stop churning it. Is anyone else exhausted already? I'm already exhausted by it. Semis VWAP again. This is fucking exhausting. It is exhausting. If we break 30s, I'm out on the next push. Test there. Problem is they're bidding 110s at the moment and he's not walking up. I'm about to get stopped there, aren't I? Yeah, out. Fuck me. Fuck me 10 times over there, market. Jesus fucking Christ. All right, just got to leave this alone. Have to leave this alone for a bit. This is god awful right now. That is the most churn I've watched in a morning session. So 3 small losses there so far today. We have to back off for a minute. There's no rebid and hold. I've tried to take some cheap bids. I'm going to have to be careful. You're shorting. Well, I was willing to short if we poked and failed above here. I'm not willing to short in front of value, all right, because we're above yesterday's value. That's just how I'm playing it. Remember, yesterday's value is here. Oh, God, now TradingView is not going to let me draw it. Yesterday's value is here. So if we hold value, I'm expecting a bid. If we come in here, I'm expecting a wash to here and some, maybe the bid to form down there. All right, if we lose this whole thing, then you go rotate the whole thing. So that means might want 150 to 148.50. If they lose that, though, they're going to get themselves a little bit caught. All right, MAG just held previous day low again. So it swept it and come back inside again. It's the second time today it's now done that. Semi's now under the 152. They need to reclaim 152 for any sign of strength. VWAP first, 24-hour VWAP first. Yeah, it's the same level as previous day value very high. You very well might be right. You might be right. They're just not completing any auction today. It's kind of annoying that they didn't come up here or that they haven't properly come down here or down here. They're just faffing around that grey box. Well, they've just bid in front of previous day value area high, and now we're coming straight back up to value area low on the current session without tagging it. And you have delta divergence at those lows. Sellers are, without a doubt, caught on these last 2-minute candles at the lows. There's not big size down there, but they're caught. I'm going to come straight back to the grey box. And the problem is now I'm kind of exhausted from the last few attempts of having a go at this. So I've got to be very careful, because if I go for again, it's going to be another loss. This was the move back down to here to hold. I'm going to have to wait for the break above now by the looks of it. This is exactly the same as every trade we've taken today. Mag bidding off previous day low, straight back to previous day close and New York VWAP. Now, if he gets that, the bid was going to start. We've got to wait for a break above here, I think, now, unfortunately. I don't want to get fucking dick whipped again today. Don't you love trading? Here it goes. Oh, God, there's the psychology of it. Frustrate the fuck out of Alex and then do it. This is exactly what I'm talking about. All right. Remember, the big seller is at 200. Once we get through that, he's stuck. So we'll see if we can hold above, what's this node here now? 160 odd. Mag above VWAP. Semis 2 VWAP. We'll see if this little pullback into 160 holds. If not, they're going to come right back down towards the 140, 130s again. They are bidding 65s. All right, I'm long. Small size. I'm trying to just like be careful here because I think we can still flush down to 38 and 40. So I'm willing to let it do that if it needs to. And once we get above 200, the pain for the sellers start today. And we can look for the move up here again, which is our target still, 270. All right. And if we get through 270, we can talk about 500. Move lower here first. Don't like that auction there. I think we're going to move into 40s down to 20s here, 30s, sorry. Semi's got crushed at VWAP again. Oh my God. That's not a good look. They've got a bid 52s right now. Otherwise, we're going to go all the way back down again. Mag finding a bid. And we're rotating again, folks. Mag looking good now. Semi's looking really not so good. New hourly bar, looking like here, not great. We look like we're in a expanding range here. This is what's starting to concern me. Is are we going to get this developed now? In which case we're coming down here. And again, look at mag bid, and then semis instantly just off a cliff. Non-stop rotation. This is why I just traded one micro there and then took the loss again. It's a rotation day. It's a mega rotation day here. Yeah, exactly. Type of day you preserve your account. That's exactly it. And there's the bid off value again. And mag back inside again now as well. Semis into their call wall. I think they want previous day high check here. The problem is if they lose previous day high, they've got the gap underneath. just wondering, do we have to come much deeper today before we do anything? Semi's still selling. Ay caramba. All right, back to yesterday's value. If we lose this, rotation to point of control can start. Trying to be patient now. Semi's into that call wall. I still think they want that previous day high. They just tagged the call wall at 150, which we're above. And they're bidding off it now. 151, 25s and push him. 152s they're over under. Previous day highs where I'd like to see them catch a bid. Software now selling back down. Mag just stuck at PDC and VWAP. We're flat on the mag. And here's the move back up to value area low for the current session. And we did tag near enough VWAP and previous day value area high. So we're still holding above value. This is all about semis and 152 versus previous day high now, I think. Okay, back inside value. And again, that node 50 to 60 is important, and then 200. Well, 190 and 200 are both important. Still waiting. I still don't trust a fucking thing. Every attempt at this today has got me chopped up. Semi's failing 152, so that was the drive to 152, which they just failed. So we're stuck. 150 to 152 semis right now. Buyers above 152 are stuck on semiconductors at the moment, and that goes back to pre-market. So it's basically all buying today is stuck. Yes, if you use an ATM, you can put an OCO in instantly. That's exactly what an ATM does. Five-minute looks disgusting. It doesn't actually look too bad. Before the last two candles, I would say it does. Put ball here again on SPY. 45s. Okay, value area high tagged again. VWAP tagged again. That's a second bid off that now. Remember, if they lose that, we go into rotation of yesterday's range back down towards 29,000. Semiconductors coming for previous day high now. This is what I was talking about. And the problem is, if they don't bid previous day high on semiconductors, there is a giant gap fill if they are willing to give the whole thing back. So I'd say basically you've got between where we are right now on SOXL down to 46.5, and they really need to hold that. If they don't hold that, it could be really nasty. We could range rotate the whole of yesterday then. again. Mag, semis, IGB. Still rotating. More strong selling in these lows. Another 60 lot just jumped on. They're hammering this at the moment. They're trying to get the rotation down to previous day point of control at the moment. They're trying to break value and go inside yesterday's range. There is a shelf here on the current week, basically down to 50. And once we get inside of 50, we go into a very thick node all the way down to point of control. All right, previous day high tagged semiconductors. You just wondered, a Q is going to come all the way back to 700 again, that huge options level. If they lose that, we'll go into negative gamma again, and the volatility will really pick up at that point. Bit of delta divergence on that last low, but again, very hard to trust this market right now. The bid is not walking up. He's still just like sat, waiting to get filled each time. Okay, semi's back over 150 after tagging previous day high. Divergence everywhere I look. Software now went from previous day low this morning, drove up to previous day close, poked above it, failed previous day close, came back to previous day low, went back to VWAP and is back to previous day low again. Seventh Prime Minister in 10 years. What's going in the UK? Yeah, it's an absolute clusterfuck in the UK, mate. I mean, they're all just so out of touch. That's basically what's going on. They are just so out of touch. And people do exactly what they do in the States. They just flip from one party to the other, one party to the other, thinking that the party's going to make a difference. It doesn't, because they're all liars. Right? So we flip from Conservative because they lied about everything. They got us into a hot mess with Brexit and then, you know, all the Boris party stuff and everything else. So we go to Labour, promise the world, we won't put your taxes up, the life's going to be better, and then they put your taxes up and absolutely hammer you, and the UK becomes even worse. I mean, it's politics, man. What are you going to do? Every pop's still failing here. So they're trying to bid previous day value area high. Those last two pops just failed. So they were trying to get back inside of today's value. The last two pops failed again. There are still sellers. IGV new low of day. Semis look good. They've reclaimed 150. They're going to come and test 152s again. Remember, that's your over under. This thing's trying to get some upside relief. It's very hard here for this to get upside relief. It's going to have to get over these sort of 115s, not just like that. There's the start of it. All right. Let's see then if Mr. Bid comes. See if we can go red to green on the day. Big D shape being held here. So again, we're going to have to hold pullbacks here to get involved. It's 152 check right here, right now on semiconductors, folks. This is a massive level. All right, I'm long versus 100. And I'll add in again as before if we break above the grey box, not E4. Be nice if we hold value here and then get above this grey box. Mag's looking a bit better now. It is starting to look a bit better here. Trying to be very patient. It's very whippy. I would advise, if you're going to play, very small size. One tweet or something in a market like this will change everything. Here's the move back to 100. So my stop's down here. It's got to hold that shelf, otherwise I'm out. It's just a starter position. Don't mind taking it. And then adding back in a value if we hold. That's the 100 check. 152 fail semis again. It's the story of the tape today. 152 fail. This is the previous day value check. So I'm out now. Took it out basically flat and just waiting now. Ugh. They're trying to bid 150 semis here. They're trying to put in a high low on semis. Oh, I'm good. Don't stress. It just is what it is. You know, this is the market sometimes. This is why we're very, very small size. I've said it all day today. Right? You eat your stops, you take small size. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like we can't win every day. It's unfortunate at the moment that we're not completing auctions. If we're going to fail value, we're going to rotate. I'm not going to take that. It feels too dangerous with how we've built liquidity this morning. I think there will be an upside squeeze lift coming. It's just like when they're ready and whether we're here for it. You know, if that was it this morning, that's awful. Not testing, not pushing, not running stops. That's pretty piss poor. It's possible that was it. We do know NQ has been a bit shitty like that recently. Is this a bull flag on the H1? It's possible. It's just the problem is that fail break that it did first to the upside. It's possible though, yes, with the how it's building liquidity. That's what I'm watching. I'm watching this, right? I'm not watching the lower time frame, right? There's value from yesterday. There's the drive. There's the pullback. There's the sweep. We're watching to see if we absorb. Remember, this morning we're looking for this or this. It's just this morning it started to hold, so we tried and then we failed, so we lost that one there. So yes, that's why we watched the H1. Here's your RBS, right? This is why we're watching this. The problem is if we're going to do one of these megaphones up here. Oh, fucking hell, he's missed his entry again by fucking teaching. All right, same move here. All right, we're above 152 on semis. Mag's looking like it wants to break out here. This is the same as before. Again, if you're going to try this, like I've taken a lot of very small losses and break evens today, so we're just going to have to see. Remember, the big pain starts, I think, above 200. That's where the huge seller was this morning. We would like to position ourselves before then, if possible, but they're just making it very hard with these huge candles up and then pullbacks, which don't hold. So let's see if we can get a pullback that holds. That's all we need. We've got to watch very carefully semis coming into VWAP here. So if they went to PDH, reclaim 150, reclaim 152, they're into VWAP. If VWAP fails, they're going to come and trade back down to 152. If they fail that, they're going to come right back to 150 again. And that is what's ruling the market right now. This move up got the bid. Look, everything went into alignment all of a sudden. We need to see this hold here on semiconductors. We're back to this grey box, remember, which is point of control from Globex, where everyone is currently stuck. I'd like to get involved. There is a bid developing at 125 now, trying to hold the pullback. So I'd like to get involved somewhere down there. Mag looks really good here. This thing might just go. If this goes, then I'm going to have to buy above value today, which is fucking not ideal. But let's see if we can pull back and hold here. All right, I'm in. I was willing to add all the way down to 120 there, but I'm in. I'm going to try and hold on for the move. I would like to see us test the seller at 188 and then 200. This is a very thick node up here. It's going to be a pain in the butt. There's no doubt about it. Semi's failing VWAP. Oh, I'm going to bang my head on a fucking brick wall in a minute. I'm going to bang my head on a brick wall. All right, we've got to hold 116s here. If not, with an imbalance all the way down at 92s. The amount of times I've been up and not taking money. Like, you might need to learn your lesson today. You're not taking your money. You've just gone to value area highs. Can come right down to value area low. Sorry, talking to myself here. Back on the 152s. It's the semi race. This is just semis. We might flush all the way back down now. Semis just failed VWAP, and they're now under 152s, and they might come for a 150 gut check here now. This is just all about semiconductors again today. All right, if we hold this, I'm going to add, like I said, this is the value area low check. Sorry, this is on Ninja. This is value area low. This is not keeping up fast enough. All right, 118s is value area low on Ninja Trader. Semi's got to get back above 152s here. This is good hold. I didn't add because we haven't pulled back since that like first move in and then straight back up. No. It's not adding to, it's not DCAing if it's predetermined with a starter on and adding at value area low. That's very different to just adding to a market moving lower, mate. It's adding into a pullback. It's very, very different to a DCA. They're still only willing to bid 120 here. Don't trust it. Semi's not above 152. Don't trust it. It's very tempting to put more size on there. I just don't trust it right now. Mag looks really good. This bid will not move up. He's flashing 100, 110, 120, 125. He won't walk up. Yeah, it's going to go. Sell side imbalance filled. Semi's 152, can't get back through. Mag struggling at high day. It already gut checked VWAP and instantly bid it back up to high day. Brutal market, yeah, it is a little bit brutal today. I'm just trying to be patient to see if I can position for the move when it's ready. See if I can go red to green on the day. Otherwise, I'm going to be a few $100 down on the day, and it is what it is. ES failed New York Open there as well, but it held RBS really well. Mate, semis just are being a real pain in the arse today. I'll show you. They are being a real pain in the butt today. All right, RBS, there's previous day high, there's Coolwall, there's the hold, here's the 152. It's got to get above this to go. It's just struggling. It's trying, right? We're trying to go buy side of the curve. It's trying. Maybe now we're ready. Here we go. All right, here's the 190 check. Remember, big sellers are at 190 and 200. We're still in a D shape. Nothing's changed that. So if you want to trim some here, you can. I'm going to try and hold on for the bigger move here. Now, I'd like to see a bid form over 160 now that we've done all the hard work. And I would really like if semis can hold over 152 here and then break through VWAP. There's the 160 bid. He's still there. He didn't get filled, but they are absorbing a seller there. But he's still there at 160. Value area high for the week here. Got to be careful. Got to be careful, Alex, if you're going to look for more. They're still bidding 160 to 140 at the moment. Okay, 190 check through that. We go 200. Through 200, we cause that seller to be in pain and we look for the break towards previous week value area high as we have done all morning. It's funny. I'm going to look back at this and be like, this is the exact pathing. You just had so many goes at it. This is the exact pathing. All right, here's previous day high. Through the 190, I'm looking for 200 break to get us up to 250 now. Here we go. Here's the 200 test. Once we get through this, the 600 lot seller would be stuck. Come on, get through him. Come on. I don't want to see him come and slap me here. Mag, breakout high day, really good pre-market high here. All right, I'm trimming a little bit into this because we've paused here for a little bit. And see, I'm looking for up here. It's the same move I've been looking for all morning, folks. It's ironic that I said I want to buy previous day value area high. If I'd just done that, here we go. Here's the 600 lots now stuck. So we'll see if we can get all the way up to 250 now, folks. So New York Open is this blue line above you. Over that, we're looking for this move to 260, 270. Here we go. Oh, it just shows you got to keep your patience, stick with the formula, eat your stops when they're there. You can't help it. Mag looks really good. Semis are at VWAP. If we can break through VWAP, we can get going. I've trimmed a considerable amount of my profit here. And we'll just see if we can get all the way up now. We would love it to hold 200, but if it needs to come and check 190, we will. We've got an imbalance down at 85s. Don't really want it to come that low, but it's possible it comes all the way down to 60s. But remember, this is our target for the day. And then above that, if they really got going all the way up here. Win rate, like I always talk about, win rate is around 68 to 73%. The problem is it's skewed. I talk about it all the time. All right, I will take a break even plus a tick, break even plus a point a lot, and that will count as a positive win. Really, it's a scratch, isn't it? It's a nothing. But when I do get them, they are 100, 200 points quite a lot of the time, like we're starting to see now. So don't mind eating, 1 micro for a starter or 2 micro or 3 micro for small losses if I get the big move. Semis still cannot get through VWAP, by the way. Right. I would like to see a bid develop here over 190. They might need to come down to 185 because that's where the imbalance is. If they come 160, it's still viable. Underneath that shelf is ugly, though. So we really want to hold 163s or something, last chance scenario. But ideally, we just keep bidding this now, and we look for an exit at 270, and then we try and hold, because there's possible measured move today, and what the options market's put in is all the way up here. Where is my GEX? The fuck has it gone? The fuck has happened there? Let's what happened? What's happened to Nuki? Where's my GEX gone? It's disappeared. Great. Well, that's fantastic. Well done, TradingView. Let's try and save this. This trade's looking good now, folks. I'll try to reload it. Really good. Here we go, folks. Here we go. So here's New York Open. So I'm still looking for previous week value area low. Well, the GEX is gone. That's weird. It's on every other chart. It's on a 5-minute. The fuck? These fucking coders, man. All right, this is our final target, 270. So you should have trimmed a ton up here. I still think we've got more potentially for upside. Mag did poke above pre-market high and fail. So it has swept, and it's swept a pivot from yesterday. So it's possible we see failure starting. So we'll see. I would love us to get up to value area low, though. It's not my programming. It's TradingView's programming. It's got nothing to do with me. What is going on here? Tesla straight up, yeah, 3.5%, 3.58% up. Apple's trying to go red to green. Nvidia 0.80% up on the day. Meta 0.25% up today. Microsoft just under 0.5% down. Google 0.83% down. Amazon just under 1% down. Equal weighted mag 0.37% up on the day. Fading up here. We might come for a back test down here, folks. I'm trying to hold a runner. I won't go red to green if this doesn't go, but I will have reduced my losses considerably, and I'll take that. Yeah, I'm going to frustrate myself. What did I say? We want to bid on this. Bid on between here or here. I had to go here, I think, and then tried, I don't know where I tried continuations above this. Amount of little stops to then take it. Always a way. But if we think about what we talked pre-market, this is a good lesson for me as well, folks. It just shows I'm not perfect. If we think about what we talked about pre-market, all right, we're looking for a bid of previous day's value. This blue line here for the move back up to previous week point of control. This is what we're looking for. All right, I was looking for failures above that to come down to value and then maybe bid it. We didn't see that this morning. We just saw an open drive instant fail. We never quite got there. So I'm still holding a runner here to see if we can keep going. I would like to just see us accelerate up to previous week value area low. Now, if we break above, there's two scenarios which are coming here, right? There's a failed acceptance and this rotation, and there's a hold and a move up to 500. And I'm not joking. It can move up here today if it wants to. So here we go. Still accelerating, still in this runner. I'm going to see how far it can go. The further it goes, the closer to green I'm going to get on the day, which would be nice. Semi's playing bull now, which is fantastic. Yay. Finally. All right, there's the semiconductor. Hold and go. Mag flattening out. IGV doing nothing. How many micros do I use? Well, when it's an A+ scenario, I don't mind getting up to 30, 40 micros if I have to, or just trading 3 minis. But I normally start with 1, 2, 3, somewhere around that, depending on my risk, and feel it out. Low volume. Well, most people are waiting for tomorrow, mate. Like I said, if we talk about what my anticipation was, if anyone was here yesterday, all right, my anticipation was to move into this for Tuesday. All right, this would be our weekly model. Low of week. Drive into here. Pin the market here. All right, because this is the test, not just of previous week, it's also the test of the breakdown level from the 3-month value area range. All right, pin it here. Wednesday we have earnings. Wednesday we make a decision. Is this a higher time frame 2-leg pullback which is sold into, or do we suddenly find acceptance and are we going to go ripperoo back to the upside? Because this, if we do, right, reclaim up here and start to hold, especially above here, this is a look below and fail, right, on a daily. So if we think about a daily, right, if this is the edge of range, right, if we find acceptance back inside of here, this would be look below and fail, and it'd be a hold of a low volume node and a reclaim, and we'd go back towards the 20-day and point of control for safety, wouldn't we? So there's lots of things to play for, but this is why I felt like Monday, Tuesday, we'd stay in this range. We'd be here, and ideally upside. This is perfect because now we can make a decision of this. So it's all about like the weekly model and where we're positioned for it really at the moment. Is the mags an indicator? Mags isn't an indicator, but it's an ETF. It's got nothing to do with an indicator. It's just an ETF. Okay, pulling back here, like I said, it can come all the way back to 60s if it needs. So we're going to check these 85s, which is the old imbalance. I wouldn't be surprised if this comes back to 60s. Mag selling off here. Semi's checking VWAP. We want to see those bid VWAP. So imbalance filled down towards 85. And like I said, it can fill 60s if it wants. So you've got to manage your risk accordingly, whether you're willing to sit in this to look for higher prices. But all the time we're above this, right? We now have selling under here stuck. Buy side of the curve, pullback. If we hold this, we're looking for that move. If we fail this, then we're going to do rotation again. You know, it's just how it is. There's an LVN under 88s down to 60s. So I'm watching. They're going to have to bid that. If they don't bid that, it's game over. So far, so good. Imbalance filled, right? Imbalance filled. LVN's down here to 60. So imbalance filled, as long as they hold this, they can try and lift. Yes, back inside New York Open. It's going to come back down for a 520 check, I think. Apple red to green. Mag looking much better. Still holding 85s for now. Like I said, 85 fails, it goes 60s. So you need to be prepared for that. If 85 holds, ideally we get a higher day push. But those are the levels. If 85 fails, we go 60s. And somewhere in that LVN, it can try and find a bid. I'm trying to hold this to see if we can hold 85s. Change the mag to a line chart. Yeah, line chart. I'll do a video on it today and I'll put it up. It's very simple. Very, very simple. All right, 85 check again here. Again, if they lose that, you need to be prepared that it might flush to 60s now. So I'm out of this now on the runner. Happy to enter back in if they show me absorption. But now we're back inside of range. So we had a few attempts, but finally we got a decent move here and here. Gutted that we're not taking that out. All right, seller coming in at these lows. 150 being bid so far. 160 is where they need to hold. We're back into the grey box. It's less than ideal. We can probably move this down a bit, to be honest, to here now. Here's the 160 check, like I talked about. So once it lost 85s, 160 was very probable. And that's the move. It's just happened. That's why we cut, or it's why I cut at 185. So reduced my losses. I'm still red on the day. I'm down about $90 an account right now, which is fine. Reduced it from, I think it was like 380 or something. Never got going to add big size. So if we look at the sectors right now, individually, see how these are setting up. What's going on here? Where's my fucking... Go away. What the fuck is going on? Mate. Give me my table. Is it just this got pulled up? Oh my god. Fucking hell. Oh my god, look at that bid off 160. All right, maybe I'll show you this in a second. Maybe I have to refocus on this. Oh, you fucking dirt dogs. You dirty, dirty, dirty dogs today. You took the long 160 long. How do I bid so quick? Well, either mouse on limits or hotkeys. So if they pull back here and hold 200 to 190, you're just at New York Open still. Sammy's just bid VWAP really well. If they pull back and hold, I'll have one more go at this. Here it goes. Fuck me. Should have bid 60s with you, shouldn't I? Should have bid 60s with you, the grey box. Let me see if we can bid 200 to 180 here. I know, I said it. I know, I just didn't want to, like, I just didn't want to do it. I wanted to try and hold my runners from the positions down here, right? Rather than rebid, but there we go. Just shows. Sometimes you can see it doesn't mean you enjoy trading it. I think I'm also tired now. Like, it's been a quite the day. Right, we'll see now. Can we get going for some continuation? Remember, your targets here are this blue line up here, right, towards 70. So high day break should get you there. Now, above 270, you're either going to see a failed breakout or we're going to get a monstrous move towards 500. All right, so be careful. Here you come. Here's your targets. Here's your targets. You want to be locking some in towards this zone, folks. You want to be locking some in towards this zone. I'm sorry I'm not in it with you. I'm going to kick myself here today. I know when I review my trading today, I'll be like, Alex, you could have taken 4 less trades and you would have been sized accordingly for that previous day value area high hold. You fucking idiot. What a newbie day. What a dipshit. What a dipshit. All right, you want every pullback to 22 to 203 hold. I'm still waiting for a pullback, and it is not going to give it to me now because the shorts now are stuck, and this thing has got the chance to go. Remember, this is your target blue line. All right, this is your TP1. Don't be a dick for a tick. It's right here. Over this, we can see something like this happen, or we can see a build out and a move up here happen. And this is the expected move today. It doesn't mean it has to happen, but like based on pre-market, that's the expected move. Based on yesterday's options trading, we're at the expected move now. So let me just see if they've changed any today. Where they're expecting it now. Let's open that up. $29,420 now. 420 is the max they think available today, based on current market conditions. So we'll see. I haven't had my coffee, no. I haven't had my coffee. It's basically going to be a scratch day for me, which, let's just think about this. This is how, like, not blowing my trumpet, but this is how good at managing risk I am. I want this move here today, right? That's what I'm looking for, one of these moves, right? This doesn't come, so I don't get it. So I focus on longs, all right? I think I tried a long once we held this, and I think I took a break even. Okay, could have taken profit, didn't. I think it might have been here, somewhere down here. I tried a long and a break even, or I might have entered late there, I think, and then taken the loss. I think I tried the same trade here, took the loss, and then I eased off for a bit. So I was down, like, I think I was down 380 or something like that, just managing risk, because it never confirmed. It never got to the bit, this bit here. This bit here is where I should have sized. If I'm really honest with you, this is the sizing opportunity, because this is the pullback that holds. That's where I should have got more aggressive. Once I stopped, I should have then re-added back in for that bigger size move. But I'm going to basically have a break-even day, even after eating some losses and eventually getting it. Now, if I had been more patient and ignored this, don't worry about this, waited for this, I would probably be in starter here, add there, and sized here. And that's, I would say that's the difference between this here, this trade here. If I hadn't taken paper cuts here, I probably would have sized accordingly to that, right? But then what happens is you get mentally fatigued, and then you start not taking stuff. And that's just me being real honest with you. That's me being real honest with you. Now, this has hit previous week value area low for me on NinjaTrader. On TradingView, it's got a bit more. Foggy brain, yeah, foggy brain, or not even that, like just exhaustion. Exhaustion, right? And it just shows, like, what I should have done was ignored everything else and stuck to the plan. Did it do this? No. Did it do this? Yeah. Right. Did a variation of this. It held the blue line, which is previous day value area high, and then we're attacking previous week value area low. Right. It did a variation of this. Should have just waited for that. I should have ignored that. We didn't get that. We haven't had that. We haven't had that. This is the move. Should have waited for that. That's on me. It is on me. Doing the stream adds to the drain brain. Oh, 100%. When I get off this stream, I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted. Yeah, for sure. It all yeah. Sometimes I'll trade minis. Who's just asked that? Where are you? Trader Max. Yeah. Sometimes I'll trade minis. It depends on the environment. Depends what accounts I'm trading and how much buffer they've got in them. So, like right now, if we were in a good environment, I'd be willing to trade minis, for example, on my Lucid account, right? This account. I don't love the environment. Tomorrow I'll probably love the environment. So I'm down $85. Well, I'm down I'm up 8,000 on it, right? So like I'd be willing to trade a mini on that because I have a bit more room, for example, right? So it all depends on the account. Like, have I earned the right to trade minis on it? Is the market showing me, can I get a tight stop and still have room? Or in this market, do I need to be willing to be chopped around on? Imagine I taken minis today, all right, because I didn't understand the market environment, and I'd taken like 20-point stop, 20-point stop, 20. My day would be over. It'd be done, all right? 400, 400, 400, over $1,000 loss. My day would be done, right? So it's also about environment. I guess that comes with experience. Yeah, so it's not NinjaTrader specifically. I use Affordable Indicators, and Affordable Indicators has. Let me just get what this software is called before I forget, and I'll post it underneath. It's called Enhanced Chart Trader. With Enhanced Chart Trader, you can literally chart on NQ, and you can click micro, click mini, and trade on that, and you can use your ATM strategy and everything else. Right, you're holding imbalances here. This to me still looks like it wants a little bit more. Now, for me, we've hit previous week value area low according to NinjaTrader, but I still think there's a chance to start trading upside here today. Get going. So our bias was right. These fuckers just this made it very hard. Look, when we see this, like, I'm not going to be too annoyed with myself. This is not an easy trade, right? Software. The opposite to Soxal, and then Mag, like, and then we go in alignment with downside pressure, and then eventually we've gone into some form of alignment for upside pressure. So Soxal caught the bid, Semis caught the bid, IGV caught the bid, Mad caught the bid, and then we suddenly went into alignment. But for this section, they were just rotating everything non-stop. We expect that in this market, right? We absolutely expect it. The Heart of Fatherhood, nice one, man. Look forward to working with you. Do I have a max loss per account? Yeah, I mean, I don't like to lose. My max loss is basically two winning days. All right, so whatever the last 2 winning days is, because it also depends on environment. Now, having said that, if there's an A+ trade setting up, I'll give you an example. If tomorrow, it's a big if, tomorrow or Thursday, oh God, move that. Let's say tomorrow or Thursday, this part of the trade sets up, and we go into Confluence with downside pressure, right? I'm willing to size up a little bit on that, because I know that if that becomes an A+, it's a big difference. It has to become the A+ trade. It has to sweep, fail, reject, go into confirmation of trend lower. If I can get in that with size, those are the days where I can pound. Now, I haven't had that for a while. The last time I had that was probably in May. It was probably like here or here or here. In here, as we talked about on videos, I've sized down a lot. All right, this is not my environment. This is my environment. This is my environment. This is my environment. This is my environment. This, not my environment. And I'm okay with that. Now, it might be that we reclaim and we go sideways till August, right? Until, I don't think so, because I think earnings will get us through everything. I'm also open to a breakout to the upside. It's absolutely fine. It doesn't have to be downside pressure. So, yeah, the risk management comes on, for me, what's my A+ trade? When am I willing to size up? Alex, you have considerably improved my trading. Preservation of capital is key, mixed with patience and waiting for the market to tell me what to do instead of eduk. I guess you mean guessing. Guessing. Thanks. Oh yeah, nice, Doc. Well, that's it, right? Like, I think the hardest thing today, I required more patience today and just let it come in. I should have just let it come in. But this node here, I think I almost convinced myself that I wanted to be long. And the amount of times we saw absorption down here for it to then break lower, I should have just waited. And that's just, no, it's an error. It's just an error. It's going to cost me a green day, isn't it? Like, I'm going to have a scratch day instead of a green day, unless we get a fail breakout or a continuation coming. That's okay. It's absolutely fine. How long do funded accounts last? It all depends how I'm trading them. Am I being disciplined? Am I pushing? Am I trying a new strategy? Sometimes I'll group accounts and I'll just try one strategy on them. So it might be like I'm attempting like a new form of reversal trade on them, or maybe I'm trading those accounts and just trading them for mean reversion and chop, which I hate. Right, so depends. But otherwise, they normally last a pretty long time, unless I take too much money out. That also sometimes will cost me. If I take a payout that's too big. Thanks, Exploit the Vibe. Appreciate it. My coffee for the day. If I had 30k, would you trade your own funds or still trade pop? If I had 30k, I'd invest it and not be trading futures with it. I mean, I do have considerable more than that in swing accounts. Props are there to be exploited, so exploit them. If you've got 30 grand, let it go to passive work for you. Start compounding. We've still got some imbalances here down towards point of control, which is now 203. I don't know why this is taking so long to update today, but point of control has moved up to 203 for me. Barely got 200 from the market. Hey, well, you got more than me, mate. I'm still red. Oracle finding a bid, yeah, it is finding a little bit of a bid today, but like we're going to have to see. It looks like it's put on that undercut. Might still come in though. Still waiting for that 118s kind of move, but we'll see. We'll see. If it bases out here for a while, we'll have another look at it. Remember, we traded it from like 140s. Was it 140s? The 140 move back upside. But they still got debt issues, earnings. See, it's all going to be on the capex spend. We'll see what everyone says. Earnings not till September, but was there news today? Probably was news today. See if I find the news. New hourly candle coming here, folks. Still looks like it wants higher here. It still wants to test these levels. I'm just out of it now and I can't be buying in supply, so I've missed the opportunity now. Sorry, folks. I see some of you have emailed. Say, sir, I'll just get you set up now. Give me a second, my friend, to just see that. Kuna. All right, just waiting here, folks. I'm not in the long. Cut my long. Regrettably, didn't get back in down here where I should have. Now I have to patiently wait. Do I code the purple lines to appear shorter? These? No, they move with the price on TradingView. So each bar it will just extend out. It's just your initial balance. You don't want to be a new money long up here, folks. Too risky. Semi's looking pretty good here. And MAG coming right back down, getting sold pretty aggressively. Fail break of IB high, so the IB high to VWAP trade coming in here. Subbed, thanks so much, my friend. Says, can't wait to take the course with you. Help me in so many ways. You helped me make much more than what the course costs, but I had to prioritize 1 to 2 weeks. I will get there. Just thank you. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Thanks for the gift. What would I consider investing 30k in? Just ETFs, mate. If you look, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm going to preference it by that first, right? So I'll be buying pullbacks on ETFs. If you want to be the safest, just buy a world ETF or something like that. If you just want to buy and go to sleep. Okay, so here, this is now starting to follow the MAG. Remember, I just said the MAGs just did the IB to VWAP trade. Where are you, MAGs? There it comes. IB to VWAP. MAGs just completed it. And it's gone red on the session here. So we need to recover this, otherwise more weakness. Just waiting here. That's why I'm not long at the high. We can't don't want to be in new money long up here. Way, way, way too dangerous. Remember, we've been in rotation today. The opportunities were fairly simple today, right? It was buying this, it was buying this, or it was buying this. Other than that, you don't want to be a buyer in the market. So now we have to let it build out liquidity. Apex, it all depends on the account you have with them. They normally pay within 1 to 2 days. Yeah, I don't think Donald realizes like he's not going to host another World Cup. Like, it's not going to happen. America aren't going to get another World Cup. Not for a long time. Do I ever trade IB to VWAP? Yes, absolutely, I do. Sorry, folks. Just taking my time here. There's nothing to do at the moment. If I'm going to take another trade, I'm going to have to be very, very, very picky. This is coming right back into this shelf. USA to host in 2038. Well, it has to be voted, and they have to put a pitch forward. It just doesn't just work by one corrupt man saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna host it again." Like it doesn't work like that, man. Yeah, I agree, Noah. I mean, he's done it before though. Just people don't want to admit it. Like, I've never been a big Messi fan. I appreciate he's a great footballer, but I'm not a genuine fan of him. Okay, back to New York Open. This LVN still providing support for buyers at the moment. It's getting a little bit messy in here though. Great strength from semiconductors here though. Right, they're starting to converge and try and break out here to the upside on semis. They're looking really strong. And there's your high day. They're coming for it. Semis are coming for that. So that's where the strengths come from. They just bid the LVN and they're trying to get you that breakout. Again, the target is still up here. Still think it's possible. Mag holding VU up. You would like Mag to drift back upside to help the semiconductors. This is a one-horse race at the moment. Not really what you want. Liquid. I'm a fan of his football. I'm not a fan of him. It's different. I can appreciate he's a good player. Doesn't mean I have to be a fan of him. Anyone who's a little snitch and tries to get someone sent off like that, you're a little bitch, mate. You're an absolute bitch. Why do I wear sunglasses? Because I can't stand looking at your ugly face, Stephen. It helps me. Salty about England? No, it's got nothing. What's Argentina and Messi got to do about England? They just lost the World Cup, mate. Yeah, you trolls are going to get done. He's so humble. Okay, if he's so humble, answer me this. I can tell you messy bitch boys. If he's such a humble, nice guy, why did he try to get Cucurella sent off for something which didn't happen? Why, as a captain of his team, did he not make them turn around and watch Spain win the World Cup? Why did he not intervene with his players punching, assaulting, and grabbing the Spanish by the throat? Why? If he's such a good guy, why didn't he do something about that? Answers on a postcard. You're not going to answer because you love Messi and you love Argentina too much. You can't be neutral. Same as people who love a politician and they're like, he's so good, he's so good, he's so good. They can't see the truth in front of them. All right, here's the push. You're almost there. Don't be a dick for a tick. And anything above this now, you have to see if they hold the break above this now, and if they're then willing to bid and push, all right, up towards 500. All right, so your runners or a re-add will be on a break and a hold above value now. Terrible fans. Yeah, the Argentina fans are the worst in the world. Look what they did the last 3 days, like or 4 days or whatever. Look what they did even in the rugby game. All right, TP's hit. Now you want to see if it can hold. All right, so if you're going to rebid this, you're going to look for the expansion model. Now let's measure out the expansion today. All right, so all the way up here. So you're going to watch 340 and 430s. All right, now I think the options chain is now saying 440s is possible. I'm going to double check that. Yeah, 440s would be the top side of your move today. So Originally, we thought 560s. It's still possible, but 440s might be the expansion, the top side. So you can think about measured. So any pullback here, if it holds, basically IB, any pullback here, I wouldn't just be bidding previous week value, but you'd want it really to come and retest where we just broke out from. All right. And if it is willing to hold this, you see this. Otherwise, you're going to have to look for that move later in the day. If you fail to hold, all right, then rotations become available again. All right. So if they fail to hold and they start going sideways here, rotations become available this afternoon because the low-hanging fruit's now been taken. Remember, our target all day was this move right here. You've just hit your main target. I don't mind the Argentinians standing outside of hotels so people can't, the Mexicans doing that so they can't sleep. I think that's different to thuggery. It's very different to throwing drinks at referees, to throwing drinks at other players, to players punching other players at the whistle, to players grabbing people by the throat at the whistle, to players stamping on the back of other players' legs and not being punished for it. I think it's a little bit different, right? And still they lift here. They're looking for upside. So SOXL is attempting to break out of high of day here. MAG has caught a bid and is trying to travel back up towards its initial balance high at the moment. Yeah, it's on the refs. It's probably on the corruption, to be honest, JD. No one else got gifted like that. I mean, Paderes should have been sent off 6 times. It's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. Anyway, let's stay focused. And up it goes. Alex is going to be very salty for not being in this today. This is the exact move we talked about. It's true in the final you do try and let them play, but like from the get-go, right, he didn't set the precedent. The moment that two-footed challenge comes in from McAllister and a few other things and nothing happens, you just basically invite them to do more and more and more and more. That's the thing. You've got to set the standard of like, look, you do this, you get a yellow. You do this, you get a red. He didn't do that. He didn't manage that part of the game well. It's the same in all sport, right? You push it. I don't blame them. You push the ref as far as you can go. If the ref isn't willing to blow, you keep pushing. But there's a difference between gamesmanship and violence. There is a difference. Yeah, I have exactly the same opinion about Sergio Ramos at Real Madrid. Exactly, liquid. I do. Exactly the same. I feel exactly the same about that. All right, so let's see if we come back down now and test 270 to 240. Semis continuing to break out. All right, they've done the inverse head and shoulder. They are pushing for 160. MAG is not continuing higher. All right, it's getting a little bit stuck here. I'm going to wait for a pullback that might never come because the semis are in a squeeze out here, folks. These things are going bonkers right now. There you go. Blue line on your chart. Yeah, Tevez, another crazy player. And look, it's not just against the Argentinians. There's any player that's ever done that. I mean, I felt the same against what's his name that was at Liverpool that used to bite people. I couldn't believe he was allowed to continue playing. Couldn't stand him. Could not stand him. Little rat of a player. Suarez, that's it. Mate, how are you biting people? Not just once, like numerous times and getting away with it. Like, come on. It's a crazy. Trump announced significant support for Lebanon. Oh, Oh, you're gonna support us now, are you? You better have a word with your mate then, shouldn't you? And to stop blowing up our fucking people. All right, see if semis pull back here and hold the old high. So watch semis to see if they hold 57.25 down to 56s. Software about to break low of day. Mag couldn't get back up to IB high. It failed. It's coming back down towards its midpoint between IB and VWAP. Eric Cantona kicked to the crowd. Yeah, but he got a massive ban for that. He got a massive ban for that, didn't he? And rightly so. Has anyone watched the Vinnie Jones doc? Man, that was that was different gravy back then. Different gravy back then. My God. It's still squeezing, man. I really want to get in this, but just can't get involved. Won't come back far enough. All right, Cool Wall's coming up on ES. You're into Cool Wall 1, 540 here. Roy Keane on Alfie Haaland yet. Did you see his comment on him, by the way? When Haaland made a comment about, I always just say like England cheating or getting the refs on their side or whatever. And Keno was just like, I'm surprised he remembers he drinks so much. Drunk dad, yeah, exactly. Done him. Absolutely done him. Keno's been great this World Cup. I think he's been great. Like every time like Gary gets carried away. Oh, but you're getting carried away, Gary. It's Messi. It's a Messi. I love those three. They're great to watch. They are great to watch. All right, semis won't even pull back. They still hold him. Yeah, I'm watching the pullback here. Right, anywhere in here. If we see something like this, right, or this, to see if they want to continue. If they fail this, remember this is the big level, right, on the daily. So we don't want to get long here. So we're going to try and get long down here if they hold it. If they poke above and then they fail this, then there's probably going to be a rollover because this will be the move I was looking for tomorrow. Remind yourself, zoom out. All right, or maybe I'll just even take you to the daily. All right, where are we? Grey box time. We're getting close. All right, so we're looking for a poke up here. And then tomorrow, either this or this out of it. All right, so this is a back test of where we've broken down from. This was a highly probable move. That's why we wanted to be long today. We don't want to be long too close to it, though. We're running out of room. Why not go for a small short then? Well, is there a buyer stuck at the high? Have we started showing a change of structure? I don't know if there's that much. There's a tiny bit of buying stuck at 96.50. I would rather wait and take the pro trend until we shift. Structurally, right, you're going to guess the top looking for this. What if they don't do it and they do that? Right, I'd rather wait for this, look for that move, and if they can't get that move and they get stuck here, then we can play the short back down from a structural point of view. Here's the 70 check. I want this to come deeper. Deeper the better here. I've got to be aware of Trump talking as well. Trump said the US relationship with Lebanon is very good, that Lebanon has been hit hard for many decades. He said we're going to help Lebanon a lot, and Lebanon will be properly treated with respect. Well, that's pleasant music to my ears. Right, Semi's testing the old high pivot. So this is important now. They found a little bid straight away off that. I wouldn't mind this coming a bit deeper. Oh my God, really? I can't bid up here. It's too far. It's gone. My Lebanese, yeah, I'm part Lebanese. That's why I was reading it. Oh, couldn't even come in here. Couldn't even come in here for me. Right, so the guy that said, why don't we get short? There's the perfect example, right? Because the main trend's still up. Still going to wait for this. I tell you what, there is some buying caught up there. It's not significant size, but there is some buying. The problem now with the long, I will tell you the problem with the long now. The best area for us to long was here to get to here. We then have a move towards 400 to 440. If we zoom out of this on a daily, we're right into areas where buyers will start to liquidate and get out, right? If they've held through this, they'll start to get out. We don't want to be long too high here. It's very dangerous. I might just have to ignore this now in terms of higher time frame structure. The opportunity was down here and here, which we took. I then stopped out. I'm going to regret that stop. This might just go down as a bit of a missed opportunity here, folks. Yeah, I know Trump's talking. That's why I keep checking the news feed. Mag just rejected IB high on that last push. Iran is eager for discussions. Iran wants to meet. We have no interest. Oh. We've won the war. But now we're going to bomb them some more. So no deal to be done, he's basically saying. Doesn't want to meet with them. Doesn't want to meet with them until they're prepared, whatever that means. Can I do the voice? I think we just did it. I've missed this. Missed, Alex. Missed opportunity of a day by not being patient. You cretin. Anyone still holding from previous day value area high or the pullback to 60s? Yeah, some of you holding. Long from 205s. It's pretty good as well. Long from previous day value area high. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. That's the play. That was the play today. It was God, it was stupid simple. How is trading so simple? And I managed to fluff it a few times this morning. Too late to long. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The long is in here now, if anything. It's what I was waiting for on this dip, and it didn't come in, and it's held. So, again, we're in positive gamma. That's why we wanted to be bullish today. Like, everything today made sense for me to buy dips. Okay, I'm going to show you. First of all, we're removing value, we're migrating value higher. Second of all, we haven't had a retest of this. Third of all, the potential move was up here to here. Fourth of all, we're in positive gamma. So everything is suggesting a buy the dip scenario. They just fucking made this so hard this morning before they got going. I lacked patience. That's the truth of it. I just got to have a good hard look at myself. I lacked patience this morning, and it's going to cost me a nice big green day. Where do I get my Gex levels from? From Tanuki. I will do a video on it soon. I keep saying I'm going to do a video on it. I will post Tanuki in chat for you, and you can get a discount with this, I think. If I can find it. Where the bloody hell's it gone? All right, that's what I use for options. All right, 440 potentially here, folks. 400. The 360, 440s potential. What prop firm have no consistency rules? What in funded? Tradeify, any flex account, Tradeify Flex, or whatever they call it. Lucid Flex, Take Profit Trader, Funded Next Flex. Roadfly, hopefully, my friend. Hopefully, yes, hopefully. Plan the rest of the day. Well, we've got to wait for this to complete the move now. There's not a lot I can do now. We don't want to fight it. Let's just go over it. Let's just go over it. Right, what were we looking for today? Right, we've had this move. The question is if they're going to do this move. It's more and more unlikely that they're going to do that move, complete the whole move now. It's more likely that the top side of the range is 450 at the moment. They don't think they're going to get through 450. So I'd be watching Cool Wall 2. And I'd say, like, here is the top of the move potential at the moment. Now, that can change if they want to set a giant squeeze, fine. Remember, this is the daily, or I should say, let's do this, 3-month value area low. Retest is somewhere here. Right, so we don't want to be any more long. All right, not near that. Right, this is why I was saying the long opportunity was here, was here, was here, was even here. We haven't been given another one here to get up into this. So the higher we go, the less interested in longs we are. If we see a failed breakout, all right, if we lose value and we lose today's value, rotation becomes probable. Maybe not the whole way down, maybe just back to mean reversion again. Very, very possible. I would rather, personally, that they keep a positive gamma and we keep doing stuff like this, and then we pin the market here for tomorrow. That opens up the best move tomorrow. That was what I was looking for all week. But I wouldn't start a new long position now. It's gone, folks. It's gone. You just have to. You have to be okay doing what I'm doing, and it's doing nothing because you are bidding in a premium area now where we are starting to retest very, very key levels. You do not want to be a buyer up high now. Well, your big cool wall on SPY is here, 748. Once you get through that, the next biggest one is 750. And that's got the most open interest on it is 750. But 745 is a level. Yeah, I know Trump speaking. We keep talking about it, folks. We keep talking about it. What would get me to enter long or short? We've just been over it many, many times. We'd have to come into an LVN. If I'm going to get long, I'm going to need to see significant selling in here, absorbed, and a move back upside. If I'm going to get short, I'm going to need us to come into an expected move and fail to break high, trap volume of buyers, and then move downside. And if I'm going to add for a continuation, I'm going to have to see a failure of value, and I'm going to would trade back to mean. Same as every day. We are at a daily FG midpoint. What's a FG midpoint? Are you talking about a fair value gap? No. But I do consider where we are on the daily versus the node. Like I've talked about many, many, many times. This is why I'm saying we don't want to be long up here. All right, we're long into that. We're not a new money long here. You are asking for it. This is where buyers stopped out. This is where buyers stopped out. All right, this is why we got downside flush. This is the move back to it. We are going to make a decision today or tomorrow if we're going to see downside pressure further or if we're going to recover range. Yeah. I'm not going to go over it anymore, folks. I do feel like I've now explained that many, many, many times. GC. Dixie coming back in. It's a good bid. Probably just a bit of mean reversion here, JD. Yeah, 50%. If you were long, I'd be getting out of it now. And then runners up to 61. So full 120s to 125s. It's just mean reversion. Double bottom, trap, push, walk down, hold the low, mean reversion. Decision's going to be made shortly. 120 top side, but you're already at 50%. This leg here, you're at 50% right now. So I'd be out of longs now, holding runners to see if they can push 120, 125. If they fail that, we're coming back down again. And then you might have that built out. Oh, I've just fucking missed it. Why shouldn't fucking help chat? It's all right, JD. It's not your fault. That was it. Oh god, that's fucking hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. Okay, on that note, bathroom break for me. I'll be right back. We'll go out soon, I promise. My dog's looking at me like, please, can we go out, Dad? Okay. Thought I wanted deeper than 270. Well, it's just this range here. I mean, but we just tagged it and instantly responded. There's been a considerable amount of selling just came in 3 minutes ago. 91s to 84s. There's some big boy selling started stepping in here. There's some buyers starting to get caught at the highs. This selling here start to step in. Now the reaction of previous week's value is telling you that buyers are trying to protect value. We are trying to go back inside previous week's value at the moment. The better retest would be a retest of towards 240s and a reclaim of value. That'd be good. We want to watch this shelf now that's starting to develop here. 86 to 96, 10-point shelf, considerable volume starting to pick up here. So you can see it. What I'm going to do quickly is just remove this now. I don't want to have a bias there because we've traded through it. That was the key point. This now is our shelf being developed. And I would say we can put some shelf on here. It's quite a big level. Yeah, that's the whole level, I would say, where they need to defend. Sellers need to defend. 20 minutes left. Might be running out of time here. It might well be that that's it for the day. Semi's turning back inside as well. All right, Semi's turning back inside. Mag, this is IB high. All right, drifting up. Software's trying to bid as semis are selling. So rotation has started yet again. I don't know if I'll take another trade here, folks. I'm going to be honest. I think the long opportunity was down here, and I just have to admit that I've fluffed that a little bit. I've fluffed it a little bit. Have you had a dog reveal before? Yeah, loads of times. She's been in here. Loads of times, man. We've had Luna in here. She doesn't like coming in here when I'm working. She's too jaded from the years of me going on tilt, smashing screens across my forehead. She doesn't like coming in here anymore. She's like, fuck that. That place is dangerous. I'm not going in there, Dad. How are we doing on the lights? We're going to be able to do giveaways today. Mummy's dashing things against the wall. Yeah, exactly. Oh, we're way off on the lights, folks. Over 1,000 of you in here have not smashed that like button. Let's get the likes up and we can do some giveaways. How old is she? She's about 10 now. What's the difference between VWAP and New York anchored VWAP? You've literally just said it. One's anchored to the New York Open, one's rolling for 24 hours. So this is based on cash. This is from New York session. This is a rolling VWAP based on 24 hours. So this includes Globex. Yeah, so this is cash players today. This is Globex. And you can see we're in positive flow. We're above 24 hour. We're above New York VWAP. We're above New York Open. We're in positive gamma, right? Positive gamma started right the way down here. We're in positive gamma. We're in a buy the dip scenario. That's why I wanted to be focused on buying the dips. But we hit low hanging fruit. We've now done it. How long have I been trading? Too long, my friend. All right, so yes, I don't know if I just said it because Bella just texted me. Apex. Sale ends tonight, folks. All right, let's see what she said. Promotion ends tonight. $49 50k intraday no activation fee and 90% off all evals, and $59 intraday PA activation fee ends tonight. Oh, I didn't realize there's $59 intraday. Oh no, that's not the one. It's not, we like end of day. But yeah, those all end tonight. Just so you know, code FZT over there. Same for all your favorite prop firms, right? FZT will get you the best deal. Other than Take Profit Trader, you can use code FlowZone there. Do you think I'll retire from trading? Not fully. I'll always trade, but I don't want to be doing day trading for too much longer. The next 3 to 5 years, I'd like to be done and just focused on swings. Just to be honest with you, there are, as I turn 41 next month, so as I get into my mid-40s, I don't really want to be sat at a screen all day. I would like to put swing trades on, leave for the day, invest in some other businesses, and do something a little bit more social, not online social, but actually social. How many evals were you blown up before profitable? Mate, I wish it was evals that I blew up before I hit profitability. Traded in a day before evals existed. Cash, mate. How much cash did I blow? A lot. Will there be anyone to take over from FlowZone Trader for streaming? Hopefully, but look, we're many years away from that yet. We'll figure that out when we get there. Am I still paying off college debt? Mate, I paid my student loan off within, I don't know, 5-6 years of leaving university. I have no debt, mate. I own my house. I own everything. I don't have any debt. Not a dollar of debt. Haven't had debt for a long time. So first thing you want to do, in my opinion, in life, I know everyone in America, the whole thing is like take leverage, use debt. No, that's not how I operate. I don't want to owe anyone anything ever. Right, we're watching this. The problem is we're into lunch now. Semis failing pretty big here. They might come all the way down to VWAP. up. So I'm not really interested in this long because of the time of day and because we've come into this and because we've left volume trapped. If you want to bid on this down towards 34, if they trap sellers, I understand. For me, just based on the time, we're into a new 15-minute bar here. We're coming into lunch. We've hit the low-hanging fruits. Semis are starting to sell off. I have become, less interested in this. Maybe I'm going to live to regret it, but I'm just going to be smart here. But it might well, you might well find a bid in here. All right, but if not, you're going to slide down into this, into the next one's down here. Let's see. Let's see if they hold a bid and recover. Maybe I'll have a go if they start recovering value here. That's the first push up. They can push through this and pull back and hold. Maybe I'll have a small sniff. There's a lot of liquidity lower to be filled still, though. They're all sat on the book from 50s down to 25s at the moment. No one's walking up, so it's not filling me with confidence that they're going to lift this right now. You want the reversal trade, the Tyson trade. Well, there's 2 Tyson trades, so if you're going to focus on that, you're going to have to wait for it to fail. Still got room for upside if it holds. Remember, flow is very bullish right now, folks. All right. Structurally, bullish. Pullback can hold. A little bit trapped here. Something like this can happen. You're going to need, for the Tyson trade, I'd say you're going to need a retest underneath it. What's the purple line? It's the initial balance. Are we there on the likes? No, still 143 likes short of doing a giveaway. I will give you guys an Apex account away today if we get to 1,000 likes. So I feel responsible. Had a poor first, I don't know, 3 or 4 little scalp attempts this morning. And they're trying to bid this up. I hate this liquidity at 55 to 30 sat there though. And I wonder if semis come into 57s and fail here and put in a lower high, lower low situation. The course is just an introduction course though. It's just a 2-hour course, not the full course. Really? We're going to go flying now, are we? Here they come. Yeah, I'm exhausted. Too much exhaustion for me. That was the LVN hold. If they set a higher low now versus 70s, you've got a shot. You've got to respect this grey box here, though. It's kind of light on the screen, but this one here, where they built out volume. This is the danger of this semiconductor move, like I just said. If 57s fail on the push, that will set a lower high on a shelf. And it's the same area we stuffed on this morning on the opening drive. Still, everything's positive. I'm just not going to trade it. It's a choice. I'm going to not do it. You're very greens happy either way. Nice work, man. Yeah, don't risk a funded account now that we've gone. If you're nice and green and we've hit low hanging fruits, don't risk it. Here's the grey box. The only thing now you could look for this afternoon really is this or this, and that's going to be a messy move. The upside lift looks much better. I'm going to regret not buying that LVN, aren't I? A day full of regret, Alex. Do I consider delta divergence? Well, there was delta divergence at the lows down here. All right, so we had heavy selling into those lows and seller exhaustion here and a drive up. So yes, I always consider it. I think I'm in defensive mode right now because I know like somewhere up here there's a possibility of failure, and I know we've hit low hanging fruit, and I know we're into lunch, and I know I traded poorly this morning, and I've basically got myself back to a break-even day. Like if I show you my profits, I really don't give two what's about something like this. This is basically a scratch day for me. All right, so like I'm kind of in defensive mode right now. Like arguably that trade would have got me nice and green, but I don't mind having red days when they're controllable. Volume's low. Low compared to what? What's it low compared to? Is it like a 5-day average of volume? What are you comparing it to? 5-day average. Well, you've got to remember the volume last week would have picked up because it was an OPEX week. That's why I was asking. If we set a higher low at 270, is it worth a shot? I mean, yeah. I mean, now it's in this node, so you'd almost rather it gets above this node and goes. But yeah, either of these are potentially worth a shot. But again, remember the time. It's 8:52. Lunch is coming up. I'm just going to remind you where we are. That's where we are. I don't want to be long up here. I've missed the opportunity. For me, I'm just going to let this go. Like, if it grinds all day without me, I'm going to make peace with that. I'm not going to kill myself for not trading up here. I am going to kick myself for not holding on the longs I had down here or re-adding back in here. That's a bigger problem than anything here. Would I consider managing people's money for a percentage? No, absolutely no interest in doing that. You're better off to go into a fund to do that for you. It's hard enough to trade your own capital. I don't want to have the pressure of having someone else's capital. What's the Tyson trade reference? It's just an initial balance rotation. So it's either a failed auction at IB back down to VWAP, or it's a 1.5 move, which would take us up to here. That's all it is. We'd name it Tyson because it was a member of the Discord who was struggling, so I banned him from taking any other trade than just those 2 trades, and he became profitable off it. That's why it's called Tyson. The funds are worse than me. They might be worse than me, but you give me your money and you might feel very differently. If I'm just having a bad day and I'm like, all right, fuck it. All on black. Let's go. Let's put it all on SPCX. Long. Close your eyes forever. In fact, let's do the double leveraged one. You never know. Alex has a bad day. He just goes, fuck it. He gets emotional. Fuck it. Send it. There's Tyson in chat. Not really profitable lately, though. It's not been your market, mate. Quadruple leverage unicorn ETF. I'm all in on that, man. 100% all in on that. Would love to hear my journey to profitability one day on my rugby days. My rugby days were pretty short-lived, unfortunately. I went to a good school for rugby. Then I came out of that good school, went to a shitty college for rugby, captained their team. Had never been at a worse fucking school for rugby in my life. At the time, I was playing for Surrey, London South East, and London Irish. Stayed there for a few years. Left, went to Brunel, went to Irish Exiles, and then the injuries just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. Collarbone, AC joint, MCL in my knee, and just that was the end of that. Never get that fit again. Could never get back fit again. I wish I could. One of my best mates, Robbie, was at Wasps and played for America. Good friends with Hask. Those of you who are rugby players will know him. The Evans brothers, all those boys. All right, 4 minutes left. There's the bid. Did any of you take the bid at 70s? That's a good hold of 70s. You got to get through this grey box above now. That's a good hold of 70s. Right. You need to respect this grey box. Okay, here's the walk down. That is a great hold. I would pay yourself some here because you need to be in scalp mode because you've got to know this is supply. You get above that and hold, you're away for the day. You do not hold on beyond that. All right. I would be in scout mode until it gets above this, and then you can move your stop up. And really, I wouldn't allow this to break even this now, because if you break that, the flush is on. This is why I'm not trading it, because we're into lunch. It doesn't make sense to me. I didn't watch the halftime show. I've got no interest in watching a halftime show, especially in football. What a load of bullshit. Right, let this sink in. They started the game late. We had some stupid halftime show, which I didn't watch, which everyone has said was shocking and awful. All I've seen is Muppets and some of the Brazilian legends, and I didn't hear any of the music. Yeah, and to quote Rooney, it was crap. It was crap. I like some of them, but it was crap. Who's the best rugby player I've seen? What I've seen live or played with or just ever witnessed ever? I mean, I don't think it really works like that. For me, like, you have to pick players in positions, because I mean, Jonah changed the game for sure. Jonah, like, for sure changed the game. Gitto was a hell of a player. Johnny was a hell of a player. It all depends on the positions, man. Carlos Spencer, like, what a player. All depends on the position. Shabal, what a beast he was. Yeah, what an absolute beast. Do you go to the green room events in rugby in Twickenham? Well, I live in Los Angeles. Otherwise, I would love to go to those. But I live in LA, mate. All right, lunch coming up. You're still seeing buyers try and show up here at 50s. They're trying to sell through to these buyers at 50s at the moment. You can see them on the book. They're trying to fill these buyers down at 50s. And if they lose that, they're trying to fill the player down at 35. Semi's made the lower high, like I talked about. This was the danger for me. All right, I'm going to show you why I didn't like it. What did I say? 57s? This. Look where we peaked out this morning. All right, opening range. Fail. Walk down. Find the bid. Should hold the bid here. The other level to hold the bid is here. Peak formation. Fail. Double bottom. Fail 57. Lower high. Break here. Lower low. VWAP comes. All right, that's the danger right now. This is key. If semis can't do this, we're going to see weakness. This is why I'm personally not interested. Like I said, I've worked hard, all right, after being a bit of a wally today in here to get this move here. Where did I stop out? Was it this one or this one? It might have been this one. I can't remember. 60s. I think it was this one. I should have got back in for that. But I'm basically going to take a scratch day here. And that's okay with me. It's solid risk management. Would you say you're successful now, Alex? Is there a point where it felt different? Would successful at what? Are you talking about trading? What's a wally? It's just like a stupid, an idiot. It's a nice way of saying an idiot. It's a nice way of saying I was an idiot this morning. Didn't trade well. I didn't trade that badly, but I've lacked patience. I should have just let it come to value. It's really that simple. It's a very simple thing. In life in general, am I successful? Yes. How do you determine success? Married to a woman I love. That, for me, is the biggest success going, right? Run my own business, in charge of my own time, don't have any debt, comfortable, able to look after others if I need to. I would say that's success. Traveled the world, had multiple different jobs. I would say I've had experiences other people have never, ever, ever had. You know, was very blessed to have a 10, 15-year career in the music industry. A lot of success, and that allowed me to travel lots and lots and lots and lots, which has been amazing. So successful, yeah. I don't even bring money into it other than just being comfortable. Doesn't matter what we earn. I just don't define your success by money. It's like the root of all evil. Define your success by time, freedom, and health. Don't forget to have children. Maybe someday, Joe. Maybe someday. Maybe that's part of the reason I want to leave Los Angeles. Did I play instruments as a kid? I did. I started off, you're going to laugh. I started off on the euphonium, and then I moved from that to the clarinet. And then this year I moved to the guitar. I started playing guitar this year. Do I have a spiritual life? Yeah, I wouldn't say religious, but I would say, am I spiritual? Absolutely. Do I believe in some form of God? Yeah. Do I believe in, like, you know, basic principles of it? Yeah. What are the chances we gap down to 29,000? Tomorrow? I don't know. It's not that far away. I mean, there is a chance, but who knows what happens overnight? I hope not. I really hope not. It will ruin the trade for us tomorrow if it does do that. How good are you at cricket? Well, I haven't played in 20 years, so I'd say shite. I was okay back in the day. I used to bat mid-order, and I used to bowl leg break. It feels bullish. Well, it's still holding LVN. Look, it's still holding IB. It's still holding previous week. We've dipped into it twice. If it holds, it is looking for a lift. It's just like whether it's got any room left. If you guys are in from down here, you can just try and let it work. Just move your stop up to this edge. Just defend this edge. If you bought this, or you bought and sold, and you're in again, just defend this edge. Defend this edge. And then if we get over and hold this, that's where you can get your move. And I'm going to just have a look again on the options chain. $425 now, so it's getting dampened down a bit. So that's the top of, yeah, this is where I think it can go, basically here to here. Let's do a little projection here, see if it works out. Yep, let's do the initial balance, see if it works out. Right, 360, 385, basically 360, 400. That's your target. After that, you're done with it. If you even get that far, right? If you even get that far, you need to hold this grey box now into lunch, right? You do not want to let go of this node. I'd say this node can do it a bit thicker now, right? You want to see this W hold, and you just want to see upside, lift, and squeeze, okay? And then the higher, the better. And good luck. Hopefully, it keeps going for you guys. I would love this to just keep going up and up and up for you guys. It would be fun, wouldn't it? I've got to take my dog out, otherwise I'd sit here with you through lunch. You need the mags to go. Where are they? They're trying. They're testing IB high. But you got software. Everything's starting to be bid now. Look, pull this in a bit. There's your W on semis. Mags trying. Software's bidding. All right. If you can get alignment there, you might get going. Still holding from 29,200. Lovely work. Lovely work. Yeah. I mean, you guys have traded this better than me today, unsurprisingly. What time will earnings be? After the bell. Let's have a look today. What have you got after the bell today? Tuesday. Not too much to worry about today. Big ones are tomorrow. Tesla and Google and IBM. That will matter after the close tomorrow. And then Thursday, Intel. And then next week even more. But we'll be watching. Goog, Tesla will be important tomorrow. Really important. Even like TXN and IBM will be important just for the status semis. Today, nothing there really tonight that I'm really interested in. It's more sort of bank stuff. So affect the spiders more than it will the Qs. Are there big spikes when reports are announced? Yeah, obviously. Like if the implied move is high, all right, and we have like a 8% move, then yes, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, folks, I'm out of here. Hold on to your runners. I hope this works for you. This was the move that we were talking about today, and hopefully it goes. Don't get front side. I'm going to remind you, right, we are in a drift higher kind of mode until tomorrow, I think, unless they turn it this afternoon. We have now reclaimed previous week's value. We are coming to test the edge of where we failed. I'd say where we are now up to 400, right, is the daily balance range, right? This is your 3-month value area, somewhere in here, all right? Somewhere in here, that might happen. Just be aware of that. So this is why I wanted to be long down here for this move and then just try and hold on as long as I can, but I fluffed it. All right, do not get front side, all right? Positive gamma, everything's in drift higher. Don't fight it, all right? Don't fight it. It's why we wanted to be buyers. Here it goes. Ripperoo coming up for you. Peace and love, everyone. Good luck. I hope you guys get paid. It's all I care about, really, is you guys getting paid. I'll see you tomorrow morning, and we'll go again. Peace out. Use hard stops, all that good stuff. Take care. I totally forgot about the giveaway. I'm really sorry. Really, really, really sorry. That's why I came back. I was like, hang on, are we there? We are. Let's just do the giveaway quickly. Code FZT, just type it in chat once. I'll give you guys a free Apex account. Sorry, guys. Forgot to give you the free account, didn't I? He's come back just to give you the free account. I'll give you guys a minute to do that. Fuck, man. Kicking myself today. Kicking myself. Great reads. Poor execution. All right, let's pull this winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. MGF Miles. MGF Miles, are you here? Nice. All right, congratulations, Miles. Free Apex account on the way to you. All you have to do is email me, info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of you logged into YouTube, okay? And then I will send you the code for that. All right, team. Sorry about that. I almost forgot, but I didn't leave you hanging. All right, I came back. I remembered. I remembered. All right, folks. Use hard stops. Peace and love. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.